To create our last drawing, I'm actually back in the assembly of my board and bolt. What I need to do is I want to set up an exploded view. An exploded view is where we actually take the pieces apart and show where things line up. You might see drawings like this in owner's manuals of items or on directions for assemble it yourself types of furniture. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out to give myself a little bit of space. Next, under Assembly, I have an exploded view button way over here. I'm going to click the button and say exploded view. There will be more tools under that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to make explode steps. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click the bolt, and this gives me this movement directions. Now, I'm actually allowed to move things and break the mate rules that I set before. But I don't want to pull this through the board. So I'm going to actually first pull it up out of its hole, click off, click it again, and now I can pull it or push it slightly to the rear. I'm just going to do this to the point where I can see both pieces, and I have room to draw what's called a route line that shows where things go. I'm going to click the green check mark here to have that shown. You'll now notice my assembly tools are all back, and under exploded view, I now have a explode line sketch. What this allows me to do is I can connect now this round surface with the circular hole. And that should give me a line that says, okay, it comes down, moves over, comes down, which is fine. I don't need it to move over first, then come down. Okay? Really what you want to do is look at this from your isometric, which again is Control 7 as a shortcut. Does this line clearly show where the part goes as I look at it from this view? Because this is the view that will appear on your drawing. And as long as it is, you can go ahead and accept this. You'll see then the route line is there. I'll click it again to make it show. Now, one of the things that people worry about is, now do I have a problem? Are my other drawings broken? What you will see here, if you look up here in the configuration manager, it's the one that looks like a little tree growing white boxes, is if we click on it, we have the default view and the exploded view 1, which is also what it matches right here. So if I go ahead and accept this, I can right click on this and say collapse, which puts it back in its assembled view. I can also then explode it and it goes back to where I set it. This would also allow me to create multiple exploded views if I needed to. You'll be shown a lot of other cool things about this exploded view as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is save this and close it. I am going to open my board and bolt drawing and verify that nothing has changed here. Okay? By default, it should have left it in its collapsed state, so there should not be a problem. I'm going to go ahead and close that. It's nice to know that that's nice and safe and ready to be printed when I'm all done. Right now I'm going to start my new drawing though to actually create the exploded view drawing. This is going to be different from the rest in that when I put in my assembly, yes, I use the same assembly, I'm going to only click it once. You'll notice it's already showing it in my exploded view. If for whatever reason I needed to not have it exploded, or I did my explode before I made my assembly drawing, you can always click on this view, and where it says show an exploded state or model break state, you can uncheck that box and it will go back. You can also do this if you had to try it more than once. You might have more than one exploded view, and you may have to drop this down to pick the proper view. So we're going to change from a front view, again, I only have the one view that I'm going to show, to isometric, which I do by clicking right there. You'll notice right now this is not a very good use of space. So I am going to scroll down, and under my use custom scale, I'm going to try 1:1. If I move this around carefully, I may be able to get it to fit. You'll also notice that it currently is coming off of here. So I have two options. I can, and just to show everybody how this works, I'm going to go ahead and save this as my board bolt explode. I make sure you give it a different name, otherwise it'll save over the one you've already done, and I'm going to hit save. I'm going to go to File and Open Recent, the board and bolt assembly, and I am going to go back to my configuration, go to my exploded view 1, and I am going to edit feature. On my step, actually I need to change my step 1 and make it not go up as high. That should probably fix my problem. I'm going to close that. I'm going to save. And at this point, I am going to I'm going to minimize that and come back to my drawing, which I can now maximize. And you can see now I fit within the area. This is the nice part about everything being linked. I make a change in one spot, it carries over to all the others. At this point, my one-to-one will fit, so I'm going to accept that view, and I'm going to fill out the title block according to this. There is no dimensioning, there is no other things. The purpose of this drawing is to show us how the two pieces line up. This is a very simple one, but others you'll do in the future will be a little more complicated. Again, the big key is to make sure we're not overlapping any of our border or title block, and to make sure we're showing everything. If you need to see what goes in the title block, check the examples posted in Schoology.